Today is Thursday, February 22nd, and this is Citrus TV Now. I'm Ilana Epstein. Here are today's top stories. Thanks for tuning in. Happening in just a few minutes, SU's Ukrainian Student Association is honoring victims of the war on the 2-year anniversary of Russia's invasion of Ukraine. There will be a candlelight vigil on the steps of Hendricks Chapel. The vigil will start at 5:15. The Ukrainian Student Association is asking people who want to attend to gather at 5. Over 9,500 civilians have been killed since the fighting began in 2022. Syracuse firefighters responded to a fire at the Crown Plaza Hotel last night. Firefighters arrived on the scene at around 9 p.m. They found a fire on the 20th floor of the hotel and put it out. There were not people on the floor at the time. The floor had fire, smoke, and water damage from the sprinkler system. An investigation is currently underway. A former inmate at the Onondaga County Justice Center who accused deputies of assaulting him took a plea deal in court today. Ozell Stanley pled guilty to burglary in the 3rd degree. The deal cleared him of all previous charges from incidents dating back to October 2023. Some major news for student loan borrowers. The Biden administration is canceling $1.2 billion of student loan debt. 153,000 people will have their loans forgiven. All are people who borrowed $12,000 or less and were paying them off for more than a decade. Those who qualify will receive emails from President Biden. The White House says almost 4 million people have already had their loans forgiven. AT&T's network went down for many across the country this morning. More than 74,000 customers reported outages. Service disruptions began being reported at 4 a.m. The cell phone provider did not give a reason for the system's failure. By late morning, AT&T said most of its network was back online. While there were about 1,000 outages reported by Verizon and T-Mobile, both providers said they weren't affected by AT&T's outage. Coming up after the break, a former DEA agent is being prosecuted for ties to the Buffalo Mafia. Find out how this impacted some Buffalo investigations on the other side. Stick with us.
Here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Now. A former DEA agent was taking bribes from the Mafia in Buffalo. Prosecutors allege that the Mafia offered Joseph Bongiovanni protection that reportedly derailed investigation of childhood friends. It covered for a sex trafficking strip club and helped an English teacher continue to keep growing marijuana. Prosecutors claim that Bongiovanni pocketed more than $250,000 in cash-stuffed envelopes. A robotic spacecraft will attempt to become the first American spacecraft to land on the moon in more than 50 years. Intuitive Machines' Nova Sea lander, nicknamed Odysseus, is expected to land on the moon's surface at 6:24 p.m. The landing attempt will be live-streamed on NASA TV starting in just a few minutes at 5. The mission is part of NASA's Commercial Lunar Payload Services program. NASA says they set up the program, the development of private moon landing crafts. And coming back down to earth, here in Syracuse, it has been extremely wet outside all day. But with more on the rain is our Citrus TV weather anchor, Luke Welch. Luke, how much longer are we going to be seeing this precipitation?
Well, Alana, fortunately, it's not too much longer. As I see on the screen here, those showers are set to stop around 8 p.m. But if we take a look into our weather right now, we're sitting around 40 degrees. However, that chilly rain outside is making it feel more like 32. And as we take a look into tonight, we're going to see the temperature only drop to around 38 degrees. However, that wind's going to stick around, but it's going to feel like 20. So if you're going outside, you might want to grab a jacket. If we take a look, a pretty sporadic weekend, some partly cloudy skies on Friday and Sunday, but some snow on Saturday morning maybe. But it kind of seems like a weekend where you might want to stay inside and play some video games. Dylan, what's coming up on News Live at 6?
Yeah, totally, Luke. Coming up on News Live at 6, Syracuse will be in EA's new NCAA football video game. I'll break down how real college football players will be in the game, including next year's Syracuse team.
Thanks, Dylan. That's all the time we have for you today on Citrus TV Now. For more of the latest, follow us at Citrus TV News on X and Instagram. I'm Ilana Epstein. The news continues in an hour with Chilakasi Adele and Max Williams.